Alrighty guys, we're going to do this one called Cajas de Llaves, which is translated as key boxes when I looked it up on the internet. And I actually listened to see how this was pronounced because Spanish not my thing. Fairly simple. It actually looks like, to me, the finished product looks like oh golly, now the name of the pattern has escaped me. I want to say Huggins, but that's not right. Anyway, there's a pattern that looks very much like this, except for instead of being with brackets, it's just straight lines. It's a basket weave pattern. We've done it before. I don't recall the name. Or there's also a one with curves that goes inward like this and then inward like that. Why can't I remember the name? Anyway, you'll figure it out. You'll find it. But it's very much built just like that, but instead of a curve, it's a bracket shape. So first thing we're going to do is draw a pencil grid. And then in the pencil grid, we're going to do little brackets on every other square going this direction. Okay. And then we'll turn it around and then do every other square going the other direction. And then we'll just turn it again, do every other one going this direction, and then turn it again and finish. So it's fairly straightforward. We just do this same shape here, then turn, then turn, then turn. Okay, and then that's what we end up with this sort of curly basket weavy kind of a thing. And then you can fill it in or play with fillers or textures or whatever. But I'm just gonna try it just straight, at least to start. Okay, so the Cajas de Llaves. Find myself some light. Zoom in a little bit so you can see my whole page. Focus. There we go. Okay, let's do a bit of make ourselves a grid. Let's make it this size. I have put on my Christmas list a bigger and different gridded, different sized clear ruler. So I'm not going to go out and buy myself one until after Christmas. See if somebody gifts me one. That would be awesome. But if they don't, I can go get my own. Okay, and then I'm going to go this way. So as you can see, I'm just using this measurement from here to here, whatever that is, I don't even know, as long as it's all consistent, that's going to be my grid size. And I know my paper is not cut consistent because this is just where I got these colored papers, is just a scrap pack from the scrapbooking section of my local, I don't even remember at this point if I got it from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Probably Hobby Lobby, but I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, it gives me these scrap packs where a lot of the papers were cut into squares, which, you know, just kind of goes with our tangle pattern vibe here. But they're not exactly perfect squares. They're just scrap packs. So I know they're not square. I could get out my cutter and cut them square, but not that important. These aren't like permanent artworks that I'm making. I make all of these random artworks that I then mostly give away. I don't keep most of them. So it's not that critical for me. Okay, so I want to do every other one, and I'm going to give myself a little tick mark with my pencil so that I don't get confused, because I tend to get confused when I do these every other one patterns, and then I get one off and then I'm all goofed. Okay, let's do that. Now I've just put a little tick on there. You probably can't even see that. Just a little tick mark so I know. And then these brackets are not that big. That's the other thing I noticed, is the brackets are not that big. So, can you see? If you guys can see. We're just doing like that. And this is not a shape that comes easy for me. I'm getting better at it. We used to have to draw this shape in maths all the time. I don't even remember what the math problems were, but I remember they had to be in brackets. And that was a shape that just challenged me to no end when I was in school. I'm definitely getting better at it. Taking my time, thinking about the shape, doing it much better. See, I almost went to the wrong place. That's why I made those little tick marks. Don't know if you guys have been following on YouTube this business about COPPA and the changes that are going to come up in YouTube. Especially if you're watching content that could be considered child friendly or directed toward children. There's going to be some changes, and some YouTubers are going to change their content. Some YouTubers are going to change their channel style. Some YouTubers may stop doing YouTube altogether because they can't afford YouTube anymore. YouTube is going to basically demonetize them. So there's going to be, and especially in the art community, in the art, gaming, mostly art and gaming communities, people are all super up in arms. And I don't think it'll affect my channel, but you never know. If all of a sudden you can't find me, I'm not being suggested in your channels anymore because of that. Some YouTubers, you know, like I don't live on my YouTube money. As a matter of fact, I've just barely started actually monetizing, and I have yet to get a paycheck from Google YouTube since I turned on the commercial, the before ads. Sorry, I've got to stop and think. This pattern makes me think. But there are some YouTubers whose channels and content, this is their livelihood. This is how they make their living. And if their monetization goes down 90%, can you imagine if your income dropped 90%? That's why people are panicking. FTC's coming out with more communications that I think clarifies things a little bit, but their wording on their ruling is so vague as to what's considered child content, and that it used to be YouTube was held responsible for making sure that children weren't being targeted and their information was not being collected, data mined, so forth. Well, now it's going to be on the content creator. But I have no control over what YouTube does with the data and the advertising. I'm not in control of it. I can't turn on or off. I mean, all I can do is turn on or off the ads, but I can't turn on or off what YouTube chooses the ads to show. I don't have any control over the ads, the particular ads, or who gets what ad. I don't have that. I don't understand why it's the content creator that is going to be dinged, because we have absolutely no control over the actual advertising or the data that YouTube keeps and collects. I just don't understand why content creators are supposedly going to get are going to be required to be the person in responsible and in charge and be able to have fines from the FTC if you don't have your stuff properly done on YouTube. I don't get it, because I don't have control. And I think if a big YouTuber gets zinged, that YouTuber, my guess is if you're somebody who's making millions of dollars on YouTube, and some of them are, the ones who have, 2, 3, 4, 7 million viewers, and they have ads running before, during, after, they are making millions of dollars on YouTube. Those people have lawyers on retainer. I'm making 20s, not 20 million. I'm making like $20 a month. I'm making nothing on YouTube. So I'm not really worried that the FTC would come after me as a tiny YouTuber, but you never know. I'm trying to figure out which way these guys go. It needs to go, if it's going in there, it comes out here. So it's that one. So then it's this one. And then it's this one. Gotta make my little tick marks so I don't lose track, because I'm gonna really lose track if I'm not paying attention. Nope, not there. So these are going inward like this. So I want these to come outward like that. These ones go outward like that. So I want these to come inward like this. Does that make sense? Can you see that? These come inward like this. So I want these to go outward like that. And these go outward like that, so these go inward like this. So anyway, the YouTube community in general has kind of freaked out over the last couple of weeks. I think it will eventually calm down and we'll be all fine. But you never know. So if you are just a casual viewer and you don't know anything about all this, and things start going really weird on your YouTube subscriptions and channels, and things disappear and people go, it's most likely due to this new thing, that because YouTube got fined big time. And then they really didn't change enough of what they were doing to satisfy the FTC. And so FTC said, yeah, now you really have to step up your game here, folks, of what you're doing and how you're doing it. But when I look on my analytics, I don't have, my audience is not children. Children are not watching my content, which doesn't surprise me because I don't think I'm very interesting for small people. And tangling, not that I don't think kids could do it, but most of the patterns, especially these more difficult ones, small children under the age of 13 don't have the physical dexterity of their hands to be able to do this. Kids can do the basics, but these advanced patterns, I don't think they could even really grasp. So this doesn't interest them. They think this is boring. I have a young lady at church who likes to sit next to me and watch me draw, but she doesn't want to try it. So it's not, it interests her, but it's not something that she's going to go out of her way to watch more content on YouTube for. She just likes to sit next to me because she knows me, but she likes to watch me draw. That's different, I think. She's 8 or 9. I don't know. I don't know exactly how old she is. Oh, that was not a good shape. Like I said, this bracket shape is a challenge for me. I really have to think about it. Okay. I think we did it. I think I did it. Okay. I want to emphasize that shape though. I'm going to erase my guidelines. I want to emphasize that in and out type of shape, that huggy kind of shape. I still want to say it's Huggins, but Huggins doesn't sound right. But maybe it is. Let me look it up on my other one. I was correct. It is called Huggins. Okay. So if you look up the pattern Huggins, I don't know if you can see this on my phone. It looks like that. So that is correct. What I was remembering. It's very similar to that. Let's do an aura on the inside, I think. I'm going to do it like that. What did I just do? I just did I like that. That's cool. And now I'm going to turn it and go the other way. I like it. I almost... Do I want to do it? Ugh. Question is, do I want to turn it and do it the other way, or do I want to leave it all just like that? Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, that's fine. So all this part on the inside here is all just embellishment. You know that we were done with the pattern, just finishing the bracket part, right? You could be done. I've just chosen to go ahead and embellish some more. So I really wanted to emphasize that sort of in-out sort of a thing. But it doesn't really, to me, this one isn't really emphasizing like an under-over sort of vibe. Which it could. And I totally could have just stopped and shaded and made it an under-over sort of vibe. But that's not kind of where I was headed with this. Okay, so now I want to do do a little shading. Which pencil do I want to use? It's the B. Okay, let's do this side and the bottom. I'm going to make it kind of look like hollow bricks, I think. My sister's got these bricks in her backyard that are decorative, kind of like this, where you can see through the concrete block. They're a decorative, they're not quite so ornate, but they're quite a bit similar. So I'm seeing them as having a hole in them, rather than being like a ribbon that is under and over, which is more how I see Huggins, that other pattern that this one reminds me of. I see that one as a ribbon. I'm just going to throw a little, I might even add some highlight. We'll see what happens. Just throw some pencil in here and then we'll smudge away. A little carried away with my shading right there. So there may be some few days during the holidays that I don't post right on my regular day. Usually I try to keep ahead of schedule so that I have some work in the queue before that is ready to go, so that when I have some days that I can't draw, you know, I'm ahead. I am no longer ahead. As a matter of fact, if I didn't draw today, I would have had to put up a thing for this next week saying there won't be any videos. So that's still a possibility for the holiday season. Just to let you know, if I do have a time where I can't post a video, I will inform you guys, but there's a possibility. I like to be ahead and I'm not. So anyway, there is that one. I like it. I like how it turned out. I'm almost thinking I want a highlight on there, but I'm not too sure where I would put it in order to make sense. Why are you wanting a highlight? I want to be done. I think I'm done. Alright, I'm going to be done because I really am not too sure where I'm going to put the highlight, and maybe I'll add it later. I will see you guys on the next video. Next time we are going to do checkerboard, which I'm looking forward to because it's super easy. Way beginner friendly. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.